Jaxon Smith-Njigba led the way for the young Seattle Seahawks in their win over New England. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. We are here on Tuesday, still enjoying the 2-0 record, still happy about the good start to the season. And we're not quite yet at the point where we need to move on to the next game. Obviously, there's always one eye towards the future, but we're still in that 48-hour period post-game. So let's continue to think a little bit about what happened on the field against New England. So, this is Youth Watch Tuesday. We look at the young players from the Seattle Seahawks, basically everybody who's still on a rookie contract or an equivalent. So we're just trying to get a feel for how the immediate future looks, because that's what your young players are, right? They're your immediate future. So if you're getting good contributions from your young players, your future probably looks pretty good. And if you're not, then it's not. All right. So this week, I think it's pretty clear who stood out. I think it's pretty clear who gave a big game. And it's definitely one of those weeks where without the big contributions from your young players, you don't, you almost certainly don't see this win. So let's go through it here, starting with the running backs and going all the way through all the positions. First, though, I hope you like this video. If you do, please click the thumbs up button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Click the bell for notifications. Become a channel member for $2 a month by clicking the join button. Those are the best ways to help out around here. Okay, so Walker obviously didn't play, so there's nothing to say there. He did not play in this game. So Charbonnet played, and people are beating up on Charbonnet a little bit, and I know that there are some elements to him that are a little bit frustrating. He is a little bit, well, he's actually a lot slower than somebody like a K9. He doesn't have the, he doesn't have the speed or the acceleration of someone like a Ken Walker, and that's to his detriment on a lot of these plays. For me, I look at it and I go, well, there's not much blocking right now. Like, he's not getting help. He's not getting the blocking that he needs. So, yeah, it wasn't a very great game, and there's some stuff that he could be doing maybe a little bit better, but the run blocking from the interior of the offensive line was just not there, and that's just tough to overcome. So, I'm not really interested in frying Charbonnet right now the way some people are. I thought he made many great contributions as a receiver. The one pass rush pressure he gave up in pass protection, I thought was not really much of a pressure at all. I think he did his job on that play. So I think that Charbonnet did what he could out there. He's got in the end zone. He's now got over 100 yards from scrimmage on the season. PFF hasn't been kind to him yet, but also remember, he had to play that whole game. He was out there for over 95% of the snaps, and even at the end of the game, he was still contributing. All right, so that's the running backs and wide receiver. Similarly to running back, because obviously we only had one running back play, only one of these young wide receivers did much of anything notable, and that, of course, is JSN. And what he did was very notable. He had 12 catches, well over 100 yards, had the one drop, which, hey, it was a tough drop. That was a big drop in this game as well. That was a first down on, I think it was a 1st and 20. But that is everything that we thought we would see from JSN. That is JSN doing exactly what we had in mind when we drafted him. That is him getting open quickly. That is him providing a short to intermediate target, getting open on 3rd down, being a option in the passing game on 3rd down, doing all that kind of stuff over the middle of the field where it's so hard to defend. That is everything that we ever wanted when we drafted JSN. So, amazing game. No doubt in my mind, that was the best game of JSN's career so far. And you can see the skill set, the ability to get open on zone defense. You play zone on JSN, it's really, really hard to keep him down. So, excited about that. I forgot to update the Bobo stuff on this chart, but he did have 2 catches for 15 yards. So that's really it for the young receivers here. So 2 touches for 15 yards for Bobo on the season now. I'm not expecting big numbers from Bobo. Understand that At the end of the day, Bobo's greatest strength as a player is his run blocking. That doesn't show up in the stat sheet. Bobo is a phenomenal run blocker as a wide receiver, and that is where he can help this team the most. So understand that it's not going to show up in the stat sheet, but Bobo is a very important part of what we do here. Okay, offensive line. Cross continues to be the guy. Cross has been one of the best players in the league so far this year. No pressures allowed, no penalties. Run block rate still over 90. I know he didn't have a good run block rate against the Patriots, but we never ran behind him, so it didn't affect his overall score. And his overall grade is over a 90 as well. Forsyth picked up 5 pressures allowed, which I didn't think he played that poorly personally, but that's what PFF gave him, so we will log that as such. Run block rate still a little bit above water. Not great. We're obviously not thrilled with it, but he's a third stringer. It's okay. PFF grade overall, manageable. Like, this is, I really want to stress this. People dump on Forsyth a lot, and I understand why. I don't think he's playing that badly so far this year. There are problems, but this is a third string tackle we're talking about here. He should not be playing any football. The fact that he's kind of holding his own is actually a little bit of a miracle, and I do want to commend him for that. Christian Haynes played a little bit, allowed 1 pressure, but his run block grade was really good, but we only ran the ball once when he was in there, so it was we're talking about a very small sample size here. So we haven't seen enough of a sample size with Haynes. His grade's okay, though. Bradford picked up another 2 penalties. His grade was not terrible because he didn't allow any pressures, and his run block grade was okay, but I didn't see the run blocking from him in this game. I saw it in that first game. In this game, nah. Okay, now we switch on over to the defense here. Byron Murphy was obviously the man in this game, not necessarily in terms of PFF grade, right? The PFF grade wasn't there because of the run defense, but 4 tackles, including the half a sack, which is the tackle for loss you see here. So Murphy, okay. We got a pretty big game from him. I know that PFF didn't love it, but he also had 4 pressures. You can see the impact he has on this defense. It's big, it's important, and it's great. He won't win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but by the end of this year, Seahawks fans might be saying he should, but the numbers aren't there. Like, somebody out there is probably going to have bigger numbers. I don't know who. Maybe it'll be Dallas Turner. Maybe it'll be Jared Verse. But Byron Murphy might have the biggest impact of any defensive rookie. It's possible. Mike Morris barely played. Didn't really do all that much. Cameron Young still injured. Tyrese Knight, first real NFL action, plays okay. Plays okay. 7 tackles. A lot of his tackles, he didn't have any for loss, but more than half of his tackles were within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. This is not a guy farming tackles 8 yards down the field. Making his plays near the line of scrimmage, really encouraging. PFF grade was not good because of coverage, but again, I don't really trip on that at all. I don't think anything of that. Quite simply, he's a rookie. Of course, he's going to get beat up in coverage. Drake Thomas, special teams grade still pretty good, but not much to report there. Relatively quiet day for special teams outside of Mr. Julian Love. Edge rusher, Boye Mafe comes in with, how many tackles did we add this week? Let me check the edit history. Yeah, 5, and that included a sack, and his PFF grade is almost at 80. So he's playing at a Pro Bowl caliber level. And considering how much he's getting pressure, his insanely high pressure rate, which we'll talk about more later, we might be talking about a guy who's on the cusp of being one of the elite edges in this league if he can just learn how to finish plays. He should have like 5 sacks this year, but he only has 2 because he's not converting all of his pressure opportunities. Derek Hall, 4 tackles, so he had 2 in this game. He had some pressures, no sacks. PFF grade is still right at about a 70 overall, so he is a net positive player for us right now. And that's been a big part of our success so far this year. So happy with Derek Hall. Corner stuff, Reek Woolen had a few tackles. Didn't make any plays in coverage, but he barely got tested. I mean, New England doesn't even try to throw to their receivers. They know they're so bad. PFF grade actually went up after this game, though, so he's doing his thing. Gave up a couple catches, but nothing serious. 84.3 PFF grade. Witherspoon got docked because of the penalties, but still overall, 7 tackles made in this game. Allowed like 1 catch in coverage for 5 yards. PFF grade still good, 76.7. And Trey Brown continues to kind of hold it up a little bit here. He had a couple tackles. PFF grade held relatively steady here. Yeah, it actually went up about a point and a half. So Trey Brown, we got a little something going on here. And remember, he's the guy who's going to be the guy who gets picked on if anybody. So if he can hold up to even an above average level, then you're cooking. And then we have Nehemiah Pritchett, special teams okay. D. Williams, special teams okay. Kobe Bryant, Jarek Reed did not really play in this game. That's it for the young players. So I'll be seeing you guys later today. More videos coming, some good videos. But that is what is going on with the young players right now. It's exciting, it's good, and everybody should be really encouraged. Okay, I will see you guys later. Go Hawks, and more stuff coming.